Hey guys, Mac here. This video is the start of something a little bit new for us. We always talk about how our favorite part of our travels are the people that we meet along the way. So we're gonna start bringing those people to you in the form of interviews. Our first one, we're gonna be interviewing our dear friend and fellow traveler, Aidan Klimenko, in the cab of his own rig while we venture down some random dirt road. All right, let's interview him. Welcome to your own vehicle.
Hi, I'm Aidan. This is my vehicle.
Hi, I'm Mac. This isn't my vehicle. So how long have you had, or maybe we should start with, what exactly is this?
So that's a good question. This is a 78 series Toyota Landcruiser Troop Carrier Edition, which was very big in Australia and other parts of Europe, I believe, as a military vehicle for bringing troops out to or back from kind of remote areas. And I may be totally wrong about all this. I'm new to the Toyota world,
Yes,
so I'm learning.
we all are, aren't we?
Yeah, but it has solid axles, high and low gear transfer case. It's a 5-speed. It's the 1HZ engine, which is a 4.2 liter diesel 6-cylinder engine, naturally aspirated, so no turbo, which means it is slow. The speed, I guess, is going to be determined by the gearing, right? It's geared very low for off-road. So it's slow and it kind of drives like a tractor, but oh, this looks fun.
Oh yeah.
But it goes, it works. It does what it needs to do, and it's supposed to be one of their more reliable engines. Now, I have a hard time with saying that because I just can imagine myself 200 miles down the road, broken, and kicking myself for having just said that it was a really reliable engine. So,
So how long have you had this Butte for?
I haven't had this thing for too long. I got it this summer, and I guess it's winter now, so 4 months maybe. However, in that time, I've been working and have really only been in the vehicle for about a month. But right now, as this is being recorded, I am prepping for getting it ready to, or prepping to ship it down to South America. So for the next year or so, I will be in the truck. So that is really exciting. It's the beginning of a new chapter for me, one that I've been working towards for a while.
Do you feel like you've settled into this as a living space, but also as a platform really easily? Like, do you feel like it's been an easy transition?
It's been a fun transition. I think that change is fun. And I think that's one of the attractive things about this lifestyle, being open to change. And it's like moving,
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass, but there are aspects to it that are nice. Once you've moved in, it's great, and luckily, being such a small space, moving in doesn't take too long. It's not too much of a lifestyle transition. I'm already used to pooping in the woods and used to sleeping on the street in the city and hearing, whatever it may be, cars going by, not taking showers very frequently. Any of the just classic living on the road stuff, that's all the same. But there are things about this that are different that have made some of that easier. It is way more stealthy than the van was, meaning when I'm parked in the city, I can very effectively keep this looking like there's nobody in it, so it doesn't draw more attention than it already draws just from looking kind of
absolutely.
funky. That's been really sweet. I do a lot of city camping just when I visit, be it friends in LA or I don't know. I feel like I'm always going to visit people.
Yeah. I mean, that's the great thing about traveling full time is we get to, you get to go find your friends wherever they are.
So I don't know. What was the question? Oh, the transition. Yeah, it's
I think that covers.
easy transition. I think the best way to put it is the most memorable.
Yeah, most memorable experience.
Because quantifying something as being purely good or purely bad is really hard.
You can't do that.
Yeah, and I think a little unfair to that experience. When I'm older, looking back at this period of time in my life, I think that I will remember the handful of days when our engine blew up in Colombia. It was me and four of us total, driving down in South America. We had just finished driving through all of Central America, which was beautiful, but really, really hot and really, really sweaty. And we didn't get much sleep because we didn't have any AC and we didn't have any fans. So we just lay in the hot, humid...
Sweat it out.
Yeah, we were looking forward to getting up into the Andes quite a bit. And we had just finally crossed Colombia. And this was a big deal for us because we were Ecuador in a lot of ways was our first major destination. And we were about to get there. The day we were supposed to get to Ecuador, we were, I think, maybe 10 miles, maybe less, away from the Ecuador-Colombia border in a little town right before Ipiales. Our engine died. Really died, and it was apparent. We knew right away that it was dead.
It's done.
Yeah, so I had a friend in Quito, Ecuador, who owned a shop. And so we were like, okay, that's 6 hours south from here. How much does a tow truck cost? And we strapped it to the bed of a tow truck, and we all sat in the van up on this tow truck.
Wait, on the back of the tow truck?
Yep, going through these windy roads that were really narrow, and through the window of the tow truck you couldn't see the road, you just saw it down. I think we got a bottle of rum and spent 6 hours just kind of drinking and wallowing in the back of the... I think that memory specifically I'll remember. We were in it together and we had each other to figure this out, and that sense of looking to each other for support, I think, will definitely stay with me for a long time. It was a hard period, but we did it together, and I really value that.
But a lot of times, like, those super low moments breed opportunities for you to swing really heavily in the other direction in a way that you otherwise wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it makes you very appreciative of experiencing the lows so you can recognize the highs.
I think that's definitely valid. I'm a big believer of that.
The sound of pinstriping happening.
You don't like it?
It's the nails on the chalkboard kind of thing.
Yeah. All right, I'll get out of here then.
So I know the other night we were talking about not having rig envy anymore now that we have our current vehicles. Those are bubbling back to the surface for me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Very much is. You have a vehicle that is built in the same way this is for two people. And this was built for two people, but two different people.
This was hyper custom though for two very specific people.
It's perfect for me and one person in the way I think your vehicle is great for the two of you.
People. But the thing is, there isn't a perfect vehicle out there for anybody.
Right.
I really feel like there's, also your needs change over time. So it's just such a it's a spectrum, I feel like, that is constantly fluctuating.
Totally. I mean, do you guys feel like you checked off the boxes you wanted to check off with that rig?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I think that the one biggest regret for us is how expensive it was.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the price tag on that vehicle is really limiting for anything that we want to do going forward. Because the thing is, if we wanted to take time off, we still have to pay essentially a very small mortgage.
Yeah.
On that vehicle.
Right.
But
So I think that it checked off all the boxes, but the thing was, in hindsight, maybe we didn't need all those boxes.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Yeah.
I think that's an
accurate.
important thing. I think that's something that I was considering when looking at this vehicle. We've talked about it off camera, but the idea of over preparing and getting stuck in that whirlpool of
So easy to do.
of trying to be so prepared that you spend so much money, or you get so focused on the vehicle that you don't
Ever get
do
to
the adventure. You don't get to realize it. And I think that I mean it is an adventure ultimately that we're looking for, and I think that there's you have to make room for adventure, and I think that comes with maybe not being so
Prepared.
ultimately prepared. And there are things about this vehicle that are not perfect for me. I mean, I love this vehicle, don't get me wrong, but I mean, I don't fit in the bed,
That is a problem.
That's a problem. But again, it checks off so many of the boxes and came at a price point that was extremely reasonable. I bought this for $2,000 less than what I sold the van for. But for me, the vehicle has always been a means to an end. Like
Can I just pause and just tell you how much I love you? Like right here, right now. You just need to know. Whatever happens in your life, if you're ever having a down moment, think back to this moment and how much I care about you.
That's really nice, Mac. But no, the vehicle has been a means to an end. Like, I think it sounds worse than it is.
Yeah, I hope so.
And for me, that means has always been to travel. It's always been South America. I bought my first van with the intention of driving to South America. It was a piece of shit. I was never gonna make it. I sold it. I bought a van that did get me down to South America, but not back. I've always wanted to be able to travel with the amount of photo gear that I need in order to shoot, process, so shoot, develop, and scan my own film.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also, in a weird way, kind of a homebody. I haven't wanted the vehicle to be the focus of my travels.
Right.
It's always supposed to have been
You.
an aid for my travels.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I sold the last van. It became more of the focus of what I was doing. And I didn't have the time, money, or energy to really look past the vehicle. And that's when I knew it was time to sell. Do you want to drive?
Yes. I love the way that the suspension feels on.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, did I run something over?
No. But that's the beauty of this thing. You never know.
So where all have you been in this, Aid?
So let's see. The previous owners met me outside of my house, my parents' house in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And then I loaded it up and drove west to Seattle. Just the classic West Coast circuit,
Yeah.
Down the coast, and then dipped into Baja for really only for like 5 or 6 days, not for very long. I was on my way to Phoenix, where I left the truck with my cousin while I flew down to Antarctica for some work, and then flew back to Phoenix to pick it up. And pretty much came east to find you guys here now in New Mexico.
So I don't think that we have discussed this on camera. I think that we kind of have probably pieced it together, but what do you do for work, Aidan?
Oh yeah, so I am a photographer and filmmaker. I have been supporting myself for the most part through freelance, at least the first 3 years, primarily video.
Is it like a...
Yep, over to me and down. Might have to just kind of fiddle with it, or
There we go.
But photo as well. It really just depends on the project and the clients. But recently, in the past 2 years, I have been doing making nature videos and doing wildlife photography on a ultra luxury expedition cruise ship in Alaska and Antarctica, which is pretty cool. I live on this really nice boat ship and spend my days out in zodiacs, cruising around fjords and waterways, filming wildlife and landscapes, and then putting all of those together into little videos that the guests on board get copies of. Right now, I'm working 5 months out of the year on and then 7 months out of the year off, which is pretty nice. That allows me to be able to afford focusing on my personal work, which is what I'll be doing down in South America over the next long period of time, photographing for myself and focusing on projects that are either for me or chosen by me, that I think are stories that are important to tell or people that are important to highlight or whatever, and not having to create artwork in the corporate or advertising
Sector.
world. Yeah.
The work that you've been creating recently through your paid client work, though, on the ships has been absolutely incredible.
Thank you. I've been really happy with it. It's been really fun. I love being outside. So any opportunity to be outside is great. And I've really been liking exploring these places that I probably wouldn't have the opportunity or be able to afford. Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, especially Antarctica, and being able to be in those places and witness that wildlife and wilderness is really cool. So I have been enjoying it, and I am playing around with the idea of pursuing more of that. I am looking forward to getting down to South America and being able to focus on people again. I'm continuously inspired by
You're such a people person.
by people and people's stories, and yeah. But I guess it's nice to do both.
Yeah.
Why settle having to do one?
Here's the thing. Life is too short. There's too many vehicles.
I think that I made a post about that or commented about it or something. Someone asked me why I switched, and I said, I spent 8 years owning Vanagons. It's been
because
great.
I goddamn feel like it.
It's been great, and I've loved it. But life's too short to play around with one type of vehicle. And Landcruisers have always appealed to me. Granted, Jessica and Jorge have really been pushing it on me.
Ditto.
And that's that's been great. I really do value their opinions, and I love the yellow troopy that they had. So I was open to the idea, but at first, really, I was. For me, the Vanagon was the perfect vehicle. The size was the perfect. It's the most space on the smallest platform, and I had not really seen any builds in Landcruisers that appealed to me because they were so small, too small for me. And then I saw this, and this, I think, as I said before, it's different than the Vanagon, but I think that in some ways it's smaller, and in some ways it's definitely more spacious. And that the platform is not any bigger. I can fit in any spot that I can fit in with the Vanagon. With this. So it was just the right vehicle to coax me into making that switch.
Right time, right place.
Yeah.
As of now, Aidan has officially made it down to South America. We highly recommend that you follow along with his travels, so we'll include all of his information in the description of this video below, including his incredible portfolio. Though my interview skills have a long way to go, I really hope that you enjoyed our interview of Aidan. It's people like him and his stories from his travels that keep us inspired and moving further down the road, getting to know more of the incredible world that we live in. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you down the road. Oh, thank you so much for letting me drive.
Of course.
This is itching a scratch. Didn't even realize I had. Wait, did I do it back?
Yeah.
God, every time.
I mix.